Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. FABRICATOR here, once again on my Xbox One to bring you yet another Gears 5 video. Oh, sorry. I was a little distracted. My cat just jumped up and said hi. So, everyone say hi to the kitty. But today's video will be showing you how to go ahead and complete Village on Master difficulty in the Horde Frenzy game mode. Depending on exactly who you talk to, it's a toss-up between whether this map or the regular Horde is more difficult. Personally, regular Horde is a little bit easier than Horde Frenzy once you get everything built, but Horde Frenzy isn't necessarily harder, it's just more chaotic. So you absolutely need a boss killer class. I recommend bringing a demo in on any run that you do. Pilot is also really good, and you're going to need some sort of engineering class. So usually the best bet for a frenzy is going to be a mechanic because they can buy the fortifications cheaper, but it's a toss-up. There's several different spots that you can go. Really, we just have to get to the Fabricator and see where the energy taps spawn. Ideally, both energy taps will be in one of the spawns because that will make life a lot easier.
Need to find another place.
Time to fortify.
Alright, so it's going to be on the Raven spawn. Not bad. This is going to be the opposite side from where we set up in the 1 to 50 video, but it's alright. Going to where the energy taps spawn definitely makes the game a little easier.
Here we go.
So generally speaking, everyone goes to deposit right off the bat, and then we will see what we can go from there. Couple barriers, lockers, and then you move on. But make sure everyone deposits. It's very important that your entire team actually deposits. You also have to kind of manage who is killing themselves, because you don't want to have too many of your team members dead at the same time. Also, don't feel too bad if it does take you a couple attempts to get the frenzy completed. Frenzy is chaotic, and there is a lot of pressure put on the demo and a lot of pressure put on the engineer, especially if you get bastions, because bastions usually will shield very annoying enemies like scions or wardens. Now what we want to do is kill ourselves so that we can get more boom shots. Sometimes you'll get scions, which means you'll get free boom shots, but that doesn't always happen. It also doesn't always happen when you want it to, and we want boom shots now. I was going to play engineer, but I'm not a super big fan of playing engineer, because if you get overrun, there's just not much of anything that you can do about it. You're pretty much at the mercy of the game at that point. Of course, killing ourselves to get more weapons. We use incendiary grenades to do that. It's much more efficient because you can actually get 2 deaths for the price of 1. We only have 1 up right now. Watch out, Casper.
Somebody help!
Got him.
Now, of course, it is possible to go ahead and kill yourself for free by letting an enemy kill you. However, that can be very dangerous too. And sometimes it takes longer, so most of the time, the best way, as far as the least amount of time for the cost, is to buy a set of incendiary grenades, since you get 2 deaths for the price of 1. There's some lancers over here on the ground, for anyone who would like a lancer.
I'll take that.
I'll take that.
Do you already have a grenade, Metal?
Have some ammo.
This will be the last time I need to kill myself, so...
Watch toe.
Weapons locker deployed.
All good. I'm just burning alive at the moment, you know. Too damn hot here in the swamp. Juvie in the base, careful.
Barrier deployed.
I don't like this side as much, just because of the way these windows are situated.
We've got a drone. Good to go.
I like the opposite spawn a little bit better, but personal preference at the end of the day, I suppose.
Target is down.
That one felt good.
There is cover here, which is nice, so you can kind of shoot the center and shoot the left.
Oh yeah.
You want to divide up the area that the enemies come from into pretty much lanes of fire, and have one person assigned to cover each lane with, of course, crossfire, if at all possible.
Locust. Looks dead to me. 5 left.
Nailed it.
Now, just like before, you want to pick up as much of these power while they're double stacked, as much of the drops as you can.
Weapons locker deployed.
Pick up all the power that you can. Sometimes, if there's lambent enemies, the power will be scattered around the map, and that can make it harder to find, which is exactly what's happened here, because the lambent and the swarm, they like to fight amongst themselves. So on a map this large, there's usually going to be power in random spots.
Mine now.
I'm done killing myself. I got a full locker, so that grenade's for you. There, Metal. Have fun.
I'm ready. Got him.
I will do 1 point into my ultimate cooldown and then deposit the rest of the money. This way we can get all the barriers upgraded. Level 1 barriers are alright for the first couple waves, but they really just don't slow the enemies down that much. So you want to get those up to level 2 as quickly as you can. But the weapon lockers are more important. A lot of people argue with me on that, mostly just because they don't know. But when it comes to weapon lockers, not only does upgrading the locker give you an additional weapon slot on the locker, but it also increases the speed at which the locker regens ammo. And since the Coalition likes to keep nerfing the explosive weapons in Horde, making them regen ammo slower or making it so that you carry less ammo for them, it's pretty helpful to get those lockers to level 4 as quickly as possible. It's also why I'm trying to get as much of this power before it halves itself as I possibly can.
Hell yeah.
Now, for these first few waves, we can also be fairly aggressive.
I'm out.
Most of the situations, you know, we're going to be able to survive. This map is large, So the enemies aren't going to just come pouring in at you all at once. You'll have time to deal with them.
Let's do this.
Now, they did buff certain enemies, as you've seen there with that juvie. They actually buffed the juvie's melee distance. They've also buffed other enemies, like the Cryo Scion, making it not only have further range that it can freeze you, but freeze you faster than what it did before. So you do have to keep in mind that. Of course, Gears is relatively easy. I'm going to put air quotes there when it comes to Horde, because most of the maps follow a similar setup. You set up in one of the spawns, you build 1 to 3 barriers, then you build your weapon lockers and assess the situation from there, gather as much power as possible, perk up, destroy everything, rinse and repeat. With minor variations depending on team comp and map as seen, well, as you see fit. It just depends on the team. So, it can seem a little bit boring and repetitious. We're going to put a second point into our ultimate cooldown, because we absolutely need that. That's where the majority of our damage comes from. And, of course, it's the first boss wave. Depending on the boss, it might not be that bad. Looks like we're going to have a Snatcher. Snatchers are, well, they're relatively easy to deal with. Sometimes when you get the double Snatcher, it can be really annoying, but just dealing with a single Snatcher usually isn't too bad. Of course, as a demo, trying to mark the boss, that can be exceedingly difficult. If you kill the enemy super quick, then chances are you're going to have a second one spawn, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because that means that you can get twice the boss power.
Good work.
We always want to fire using a perfect active, if at all possible. That'll give us a better damage bonus.
5 left.
Having a pilot and a demo on your squad makes life very easy. Well, assuming that the players playing those respective classes are comfortable with those classes and comfortable with dealing the required amount of damage.
Drone marked.
Pilot can, of course, stun lock the Snatcher, while demo can drop a lot of explosive damage and bleed damage on the Snatcher. Or any other boss, for that matter. And since we have this free boom shot here, I'm just going to take it for ammo. Now, it's going to be random where these energy taps spawn. Sometimes they're in really good spots, sometimes they're in really bad spots. So you're sort of at the mercy of the energy taps. Around wave 4 or 5 is going to be when you stop depositing. So this is actually going to be my final deposit for this particular game, just because of the fact that I need to go ahead and get my ultimate cooldown finished. The main goal in Frenzy, as a demo, if everything goes right, you want to have your ultimate cooldown perk to 10, and you want to have a Lancer GL in your hands by the start of the wave 8. Enough that the Lancer GL has time for the modifier to, or not modifier, but the timer, the cooldown timer for the active reload to be gone.
I'm in the zone.
Feeling it now.
Apologies, I'm minorly distracted.
Nice.
I'm currently recording on like 4.5 hours of sleep
Destroyed.
after being up for over 30 hours and doing a 11.5 hour subathon stream on Twitch. Which, by the way, shout out to everyone for helping me out with that, for subscribing, for hanging out. Massive thanks to Crap Flapper, who is our #1 sub gifter. And also massive thanks to Felt Relic, who came in 2nd place in the terms of the most subs gifted. And shout out to Shannon, who also came in clutch during the event, gifting some more subs. It actually made it possible for us to smash the first level of the sub goal and unlock a new emote slot. If you don't already follow me on Twitch, you should totally check out my Twitch channel. There will be a link in the description of this video, so you can watch me live stream this game and other games. Ask any questions that you might have. I'm always down to try and help out as much as possible. If for some reason you don't have a copy of this game yet, or there's just something else that you need from Amazon, I am in the Amazon Associates program, so you will also find a link to purchase your very own copy of this game from Amazon, and then I will receive credit from qualifying purchases. It's another pretty awesome thing, so don't forget to use that link if you'd like to. Now, moving on, let's try to finish up these last few waves of Horde. Traditionally, I would say most Horde Frenzy matches take about 30 to 45 minutes to complete, but there's a few maps in the game, including this map, that actually take longer. Mostly just due to the size of the map. In this particular instance, I'm going to say 1 hour.
I could do that.
I hope you guys just seen that Juvie come flying through the window. Not only did that Juvie manage to mantle through the window, but it did the lunge melee animation at the same time in order to hit me. I really wish they did not buff these Juvies. Now, it is very important that you try to make sure that you have the energy taps. But, of course, there's a palace guard here, and palace guards are one of the most dangerous enemies.
You are asking for it.
They'll pick up any weapon they can possibly get their hands on, and they are extremely lethal with it. So, unfortunately, we were unable to get that last energy tap.
Good to go. Area secure. Look around for ammo.
It's alright, though.
Now we're talking.
It'll be a minor setback. I'll be slightly behind my goal, but that's alright. We'll still have probably enough energy to get level 9 on ultimate cooldown and still have the Lancer GL. A lot of people say you shouldn't use the Lancer GL anymore, but depending on how good you are with it, the Lancer GL can be one of the best weapons for a demo to use against a boss.
Incoming drone. Just hold still.
Incoming.
Boom! There you go. Come on, bring it on.
Ion Mark.
Of course, I get clipped trying to come over here.
You had it coming.
I thought there was a Mulcher Scion there, but I guess they were able to kill it. You just go down so easily on Master difficulty.
Watch and learn, kids.
Looks dead to me.
Now, we definitely should try to get this energy tap. Alas, we did not again. That does make me salty.
How are you, man? Oh.
Help me secure the tap.
Alright, we'll have enough to buy our GL.
Oh, yes.
Sweet. Hell yeah.
Now we're talking. Mine now.
Nice. Actually, we just barely had enough power to go ahead and max ultimate cooldown and still buy the GL. Which, it's a very good thing that I did that, because we just got one of the most annoying bosses we could have, which is a matriarch.
Barrier deployed.
Granted, it's not as bad as, say, a Wakatu,
Watch and learn, kid.
but it's still an exceedingly annoying enemy to deal with.
Now the fun begins. Come on, bring it on.
Not my first rodeo, you know. Come on, bring it.
Alright, I wiped out a very large chunk, but unfortunately I was not able to mark that matriarch. Which, it's not good.
I'm out. Still got it.
So, ideally, we'll keep this matriarch out of the base area.
Good to go.
Barrier repaired.
Unfortunately, you can't bleed the matriarch out. The last HP has to be taken by some direct form of damage. It can't be bleed that takes the last HP.
Area secure. Look around for ammo. Tap upgraded. Help me secure the tap.
Now, the next perk that I like to do is just put 1 point in ammo regen. It's not necessary, but then I pour all of my available funding into the assault rifle damage so that I can do even more damage with my GL shots than before.
And what you're made of, soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Barrier repaired.
Elite Grenadier.
Tap taking damage.
Hell yeah.
Where the heck did that warden come from?
Who's next? Got him.
I didn't even see where that warden came from. Damn. I was looking for things to mark, and 1 second there was nothing there, and next I look, Casper's getting executed by a warden. You have to watch out for those wardens. They are very unpredictable. I'll tell you, though, something that is very predictable, and a good thing, is making sure that you never miss out on another video, whether it be a guide, tutorial, or review. If you haven't done so already, you should totally hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications turned on. I upload a rather frequent amount of interesting informational guides. I'm sure you'll find many of them to your liking. If you do find any of these videos to your liking, make sure you hit that like button as well. That greatly helps out with the searchability of videos here on YouTube.
Still got it. Drone. Good to go. Still got it.
Darn it, I missed with that shot. Oh well.
Flashbang! Tap nearly destroyed. I'm in zone.
Hold on. I'm not done with
you have to watch out for the regular Locust Grenadiers. Locust Grenadiers are insane.
Yeah, let's go.
Get away from me. Come on, somebody, please kill this thing. Damn it. I don't have a Lancer. I can't kill it. Sires are annoying. If they get in your base, they'll just like lock on to one player and they won't give up until they kill that player. Which is exactly what happened there.
Had enough yet? Help me secure the tap.
Collecting energy. Energy tap upgraded.
Time to fortify our position.
Unfortunately, I did kill that last enemy before we had the final energy tap captured, which wasn't my intention there.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Don't mind if I do. Sweet. Got company.
Alright, now I need to use my ultimate in the beginning of the game here so I can get it back before wave 12, because that'll be another boss wave here.
Energy collected. Still got it. That's
Of course, trying to mark targets is not easy.
still got it. Incoming frag.
Come on, bring it on.
What? How'd that hit me when I was behind? Okay. I thought for sure I was out of the blast radius of that grenade.
There you go. Grenadier.
Like I mentioned earlier, frag grenades are ridiculous in the hands of enemies. They have accuracy that will give you nightmares.
Nice. Place to the scion.
Shit, yeah.
Securing energy tap.
Alright. Now, being that we're going into the final wave, you want to try to make sure that you capture all of the energy taps if possible. This way, not so much for the increased energy, but just for the fact that for every energy tap you have and every level of the energy tap, you actually gain a health boost. And that health boost can be very, very helpful.
Down a grenade.
And then once you have the energy taps, you can just kill the final enemy. Surprisingly, a lot of players don't actually understand that you want to capture these energy taps.
Armed and ready. Nice.
Now we'll do a little bit more in crit damage and deposit the rest. Alright, let's see what we get for a boss. Depending on what we get for a boss, it's gonna determine what difficulty this map. Oh no, not a Wakatu. I hate this stupid, ugly bird.
Barrier deployed.
Come on, leave me alone.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid thing glitched too. God, that is my like most flipping hated boss in the entire game. It's bad enough that you can't mark stuff. Oh my goodness. I have almost had everything marked to use my damn ultimate. Barely got anything with my ult because of this stupid, ugly-ass bird.
Incoming shock! Watch an order. Incoming frag!
Gonna need a medic here!
Multiple down from a frag. Multiple down from the bird spit. This is single-handedly the worst boss in the entirety of this game.
Walk it off, Sergeant.
Ready to go! Come on, bring it on!
I hate this bird.
Eyes on target! Oh yeah! Walk it off, Sergeant.
And my locker's destroyed.
Hell yeah! Practice makes perfect.
Plus, trying to hit this damn bird with a boom shot's ridiculous and a half. Come on. You can never tell where she's gonna pop up out of the ground or what kind of annoying crap you're gonna run into. Die. Die, Wakatu, you miserable crap fest. Well, hopefully you don't have such an annoying time with the boss. This map really isn't that bad in terms of difficulty if you don't get a Wakatu. If you get a Wakatu, then this map is just AIDS because, well, as you've seen, there's no cover from it. Hopefully you did enjoy the video like I mentioned earlier. If you did, smash that like button because it greatly helps me out. And of course, check out the other plethora of guides that I have posted for this game and many other games that I play. Until next time, stay frosty.